What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Pop Culture Gamers podcast, and today I've got something I've been dying to get for ages, and that is the Commodore 64 or the C64 microcomputer. Now, this is the big brother to this device. This is the Commodore 64 Mini, which I reviewed a couple of weeks ago. No working keyboard, but a great little console nonetheless. However, this big beast here is the bigger brother of that exact same console, and there are some quite nice things about this. So let's have a quick look. First off, we've got obviously HDMI output. There's lots of important sort of like information on here. Not much on there. It's very difficult because of the angle that I've got the camera at, but it does list all of the included games. And then on this side, as you can see, say about the USB ports, HDMI, the power. We've got power buttons and more USB ports, and then more about the inbuilt games. But the other great thing about this is it's got Commodore 64 and VIC-20 modes as well, and there is the games carousel, which is also on the Mini. Most of the games I think are actually exactly the same as well, so there's not a lot of choice in terms of the games. But don't forget, on this one you can actually add your own, which is entirely what I'm planning on doing, because what I want to do is set this up to play some old text adventure games like Lord of the Rings and the Quest Probe adventure games, and maybe Zork as well, because I've never actually played Zork to any great extent because I didn't have a 1541 disk drive for most of the time I had a Commodore 64, and by the time I got one I'd then moved on to the Amiga anyway. So let's have a quick look at the 64, and then we'll get it switched on and we can see what things look like once it's powered up. So the packaging of this on the original Mini 64 was very nice indeed, and this I'm sure will be equally as pleasing. There we go. Just look at that. That is absolutely fantastic. I'm not really sure why they bother putting that on. I know it's to protect it, but it hasn't really worked very well because it is broken on that corner for mine. I'm not that bothered, to be quite honest, but nevertheless does seem like a bit of an excessive waste of plastic in this day and age. Before we get the Commodore 64 out, let's have a look at what's in the box. So in the C64 box, we have the remake of the Kempston Pro. This does feel a little bit more premium to this version, which is the one from the Mini. There is no micro switches. That's pretty much the same. The button layout is more or less the same. These buttons feel the same, but what is premium about this is micro switch joystick, and the buttons as well feel quite premium in terms of the way that they are. So that is a really nice upgrade in itself, because this stick does feel absolutely great, and this was one of the style of controllers that I had when I was a Commodore 64 user on a regular basis. In here we have probably not a lot other than the power cable and the obligatory HDMI cable. I've got so many of these things now and I never know which ones are 4K and which ones are not. And then also in the box we also have the user guide, which goes into everything from unpacking the console and everything that you want to know. It's in multiple languages as well, as you can see. So there's English, French, Italian and Espanol. There's a QR code there if you want to get more information. But I do like the fact that it's very much in the sort of style of the Commodore 64 old manual that it came with the original console, or with the original PC, I should say, which was absolutely brilliant at the time. Only thing that's missing is obviously a power supply, but let's face it, we've all got loads of USB power supplies these days. So just have a look at that. The old bread bin in all of its glory. Let's have a keyboard test. It definitely does not feel like my Commodore 64 used to do. Probably the space bar and the function keys are the closest. The big acid test, does it have a shift lock that stays down? No, it doesn't. That's a shame. That would have been a really nice feature for them to have incorporated. But nevertheless, it's still a lovely looking console. It's got the lovely C64 sort of like banding on here. That light will come on when it's switched on. On the side, as you can see, we've got on here the power button, as well as 3 USB slots. And if you remember, the back of the old Commodore 64 had a treasure trove of different sort of ports. All of those have gone for a power in, HDMI and another USB. So it's really, really pared down. It's very quite simple in terms of its sort of structure. Also, this feels really, really heavy. I don't remember my old bread bin Commodore 64 feeling like this, but you know, it is basically more or less to the same scale, but it does feel a little bit heavier, and I think a lot of that is to do with the fact that there is a steel plate behind the actual keyboard itself. But yeah, those keys just don't feel the same as they originally were. However, beautiful looking machine. Really looking forward to getting this one tested. So let's get it turned on and let's have a look and see what's on the carousel and also some of the other modes. Okay, that's it for this video. If you've enjoyed it, then bring some colour to my life and click on that subscribe button, and also like the video as well. All of those things really help out the channel and be really grateful. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.